So welcome to another Exploring Consciousness with the Earth Nouveau Hub. So welcome to the Hub. Very, very exciting energies at the moment. Tough, tender, not so tender. We've got Alfredo today, who is going to step it up and who's going to take over the show. And I'm just going to pass it on to him. And he needs to unmute himself because we had him muted early on. So Alfredo, if you mute yourself, we're just going to take it from there. It's all about potency, power, story, and sit back and relax.
Yeah, I need to relax. The energy's a bit intense as fuck. But yeah, I want to, before I start anything and before I go into my thing, my stories, and we start sharing, I want to say, these Earth Nouveau gatherings, I have this always, like every week, this intense appreciation for every single fucking person that shows up to these gatherings, whether they're seen or unseen, known or unknown. Like, it's just life-changing. To me, it's a vortex of inspiration, because every week we go to these meetings, we express ourselves, we voice our opinions, and we all get these new ideas, new perceptions, new sense of awareness, new tools, all these different tricks and traits. And we're pretty much, I'll say it anyways, because like whenever Andrew and Martina would always do their shows, like I always have, to me, I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, we're gonna go to this show, and I'm gonna go to Martina. She's like the fucking like the the wizard teacher at Hogwarts, and we're gonna go and we're gonna learn like wizardry and all these cool techniques. And like, yeah, I want to say appreciation to you, Martina, because every week you hold space for us to learn and grow and develop and pretty much prosper in a way, and to me, that's an act of compassion itself, like holding space so we can all grow and reach to new higher states, new levels of beingness or awareness or whatever whatever our journey, our path is. And it's just I'm very appreciative. It's a whole different level, a whole different realm for me, because I haven't been in a space like this ever. So it's totally new experiences, new memories, new everything. It's just amazing as fuck. And yeah, I just want to say that to everybody.
Thank you. I'll take a thank you for the team, all right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, anyways. So yeah, okay, aside from all that and introductions and all the inspirations I get, it kind of, I'll go ahead and talk about it, because so we had, we did our meditation, our galactic central sun meditation, and as we were doing it, like I was kind of a little sick because I was starting my first day of my fast. So I was like, oh man, fuck, like I'm feeling kind of weird. And I just did a 4-day fast and a colonic. So that's why I have all this energy surging through me, because it's like, oh man, like I'm clear, clear, not just for myself, but for y'all. But we did the reading, and then I was like, well, what happened? Like I listened to it, and I was like, all I know is like it was different than every other readings I've done, because we were doing it as a group, as a collective. And usually I don't have my heart racing and get all like, worked up, but like when I was about to read, I was like, whoa, man, I'm feeling it, whoa. And like, there's always these intensities that come, and it's like, what are you going to do with that intensity? You're going to cower and like, just like, oh, I'm getting nervous. Like, I'm not, it's like, no, those are the moments where I'm like, fuck yeah, I got to fucking man up, because there's an intense energy building and I got to do something with it. And like, everybody's reading nice and slow. And that's something I need to learn myself too, because learning from Andrew and myself, like the control of power, like you're controlling your energy. And like, yeah, fast is one way to do it, which I did it. I was trying to control my energy because the intensity was so intense, but at the same time, I was like, I gotta like, control energy, because you say like, yeah, the rabbit runs fast, the rabbit goes, but the tortoise or the turtle, slow and steady wins the race. And I need to learn slow and steady, and this is part of the reason why I'm like bringing all this stuff up. And then I saw Maddie, he came in on the compassion show, and he just came in like high frequency, high energy, like boom, boom, boom. And I was like, yes, this dude's source connected. And like, it was just a huge inspiration for me to step up, because like, yeah, self-mastery, colonics, doing all the work, taking care of your DNA skin suit technology, because the more it is, nourished and taken care of, and the more you take care of the body, the more easier it is to, get to those higher spiritual realms or carry that high potency frequency and have the power and all that stuff that comes with the DNA skin suit, which is a blessing that we should appreciate, like, or I feel like this is the, like Andrew would say, the prize of the universe. Like, this is what people want. I mean, not people, but you get what I'm saying. Y'all are familiar with Andrew's teachings. But anyways, yeah, so Maddie did his thing, and I was inspired as fuck to have to talk with you guys. Let's see. I learned a lot of valuable lessons through this journey of this 2 days of intense writing, like losing stuff left and right, dealing with my kids and all this stuff. It was intense, but I'll just go ahead and get into, where is it? Oh yeah, so, all right, fuck this. Let me just put this down for a second. So anyways, what's my story? Sorry. I'll just, you know what? Let me just fuck it. So the biggest thing, because there's a lot of things I want to talk about, a lot of things I want to say, but maybe if we just focus on one topic, I can recenter and ground and whatnot. But right now, like, the sun's finally starting to come out. This is the helper, like the sister in our DNA awakening. Because like Andrew was saying, his was it the DNA videos, like the more time you spend in the sun, the more uploads and downloads you're going to be receiving. And meditation, it just reminded me, it's like, yeah, I'm getting a lot of power and potency. That the sun has always been my one of my main like tools for like power and potency, because I know it always re-energizes me. It clears my nervous system, grounds me, like gives me energy, gives me the superluminal thinking and all these things. So I always, as much as I can, morning or night, in the sun, during my lunch breaks, anytime I can, just it's potent. It's very potent, and it can bring some extreme states of awareness, all sorts of things. It's amazing. But the biggest tool I think I want to talk about is breathing. It brought up the breathing. The breathing is something I have discovered through a means of all sorts of ways. Like it's been something I've learned and relearned, mastered, and then had to remaster. And like throughout my journey, to me, it's like the pinnacle of, it's the foundation of spirituality. It was my foundation for spirituality, because in my earlier 20s, I had this moment where I was like, I'm done doing the video game fast food lifestyle. I want to outgrow my parents, because my mom is very controlling. I want to just get out of here. I want to do better. So I got on top of my game. I was like, fuck yeah, I just started doing fruit smoothies, water, juicing, like everything I could, and just riding a bike everywhere. And I was biking like 36 miles a day, like fucking running in the woods, doing all sorts of stuff. And all this culmination of intense, cardio and exercise, I discovered the power of the breath. And I didn't know anything about breathing, but I had a moment where I went into work and I was like, you know what, I've been biking around and, go, 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 boom, 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 just like Superman. And it's like, I'm just going to sit here and just breathe in the woods. And just in a moment, there's like this, my whole body is vibrating. There's this intense awareness. There's like all these different feelings. I'm like, holy crap, like I'm getting high off my own oxygen. And this is a good feeling. And this is something I want to carry with me for the rest of my life, because it's a part of our DNA technology to breathe. It brings in life force to us. It invigorates our life. It does so much. And fuck, I'm gonna cut off the story, but I just want to take a moment. We'll do because I need to breathe right now because I got a lot of energy going on. But see if y'all want to join me in like a Wim Hof style breathing method. It's very simple and easy, and we can all kind of ground up. And I need to ground myself, but we just do like 30 breaths. We're gonna go all the way in, and then release. We're gonna do 30 breaths. And then the 30th breath, you take the biggest breath you can, and then release. And after the release, just embrace the stillness, embrace the silence, and just be, and go as long as you can without breathing again. And if you have to take a breath, go ahead. You know, it's just a good test to see where you're at, like how much your DNA skin suit's like going, you know. Yeah, I just want to take a moment to let's just collectively breathe, and I'll kind of lead it, and we'll go, and I need to breathe, you know. Anyways. All right, start off with breath one. Be kind of like a mix of what I got to say and just keep breathing. I'm counting as well. So we're multidimensional. Don't forget, we can do multiple things at once. Let go of all forms of control you have of anything. Anything that's trying to control or you trying to control it. Just let them all go. Let go of all expectations. And what do you expect this presentation to be? Just let any expectation you have go of anything. Just let it all go. If any of you are like me, you have deals with instant gratifications, let all these instant gratification cookies go, because they're just fucking temporary sugar highs that give you a boost, but then they leave you dry, you know? Just like sugar. Let it go. Remember, we are peace. We are the emanators of peace, which is the emanation of love, emanation of compassion, non-judgment, whatever you feel you want to emanate that resonates with you. All right, I'm coming up on 26. Remember the 30th breath, take the biggest breath you can. All right, take the biggest fucking breath in and breathe it into every fucking cell in your body. Feel that expansiveness. Hold for a second, and then release. And go without a breath as long as you can. You feel like you gotta breathe, take the biggest breath you can and feel it your entire body. Feel that energy surging through you. And after you take that breath in, hold for like 10 or 15 seconds and then release and then just enjoy the bliss. All right, I'll just do one round because that helps me enough right now. It's like if I'm desperate, I'll do 2 rounds. But yeah, hopefully everybody got some good vibes off that. That's something I like to do throughout my day because the breath is like I said, it's the foundation for my spirituality. When I have the breath invigorated, like I have that full breath, super grounded, my awareness is increased, my everything just flows in a different manner. Just entering that higher space and communicate with my kids better, communicate with others better, connect with nature better, and you're getting like high in your own supply of oxygen, like Wim Hof would say. It's like and like the lungs, the DMT comes in, like just that knowledge alone, like your lungs and your breath, and it produces DMT. Like that'll tell you right now, you don't need to go out to. It's like, oh, give me some DMT so I can go to the fucking high plains. Like, man, you can produce your own DMT, and that, like, to me, that's a responsibility to keep that going, because we can reach all these higher states just with our breath alone. So yeah, you can go out and get psychedelics, whatever, and have these great grand experiences, but you can also produce your own with your breath alone. And that's something I've discovered through my journey of the super breath. And ever since then, I've been trying to, I have been like learning and relearning it, mastering it, remastering it, going my slopes, downfalls, ups and rises. And the breath, the breath has been so magical. And I'll share one experience, and then I'm going to open it up, and I want to hear other people's experiences because I know the experiences I've had with the breath, and they've been fucking amazing. And they're just like, it's an essential tool. It's very essential. Like, yeah. So, yeah. So, give me a second. If y'all know connection with the sun is important, I'll do one little story, and then I'll open it up because I need to shut my mouth for a second. Just going. But experiences. One of my most favorite experiences. I'll just go with this one because this one's good. Was when I learned to master my breath. I took my mastered breath to a salt tank, and I was doing salt baths for a while, and I brought all my knowledge of cranial sacral therapy, my knowledge of the sound and frequencies and revocations and meditations, brought all that stuff to the salt tank and just go in with that super breath. And you just enter this new space, and just like your body's totally relaxed, unwinding, unraveling. You just get to this point where it's like you're just disconnecting from all these things that are like here, and it's this eternal moment of peace. I even lost myself. I was like, where am I? I don't even know where I'm at. Like, I'm somewhere else. And it took me like a few moments to like gather myself. Like, oh yeah, I'm in a salt tank. Oh yeah, I'm this, I'm that. That's the power of the breath. Like this. I'm just gonna open it up because I wanna stop talking and see what anybody else. This is an open experience. I wanted to just be like sitting by the fire, sharing our stories, sharing our experiences, and just letting loose, express yourself. Yeah. if anybody wants to open up, and yeah, go for it.
Well, thank you. I'm going to kick it off if that's okay. Yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
for taking us through this. It's
Yeah.
it's been really cool, you know, to see somebody enjoy breathing so much. To be honest, it just is such a good reminder, right? This is something we take for granted, and I just love the enthusiasm and the joy that you bring by demonstrating it for us, you know, in such a really beautiful manner. Now, asking for a story, I've started Kundalini breathing a couple of years ago, and the intensity with Kundalini is because with Kundalini you do a lot of arm movements or leg movements, so you're using the body. It's very intense for the body, depending on what you do, very intense for the body. Then you got the breath, then you got the mantra, then you got the focus, the drishti onto various, you know, either pineal gland or, you know, different places. And what I've been finding, I'm doing a Nabi Kriya at the moment for 40 days, and I'm on day 10. And today, for the first time, you know, you breathe the same breath every time, the same rhythm, the same movements and everything, but every day you perceive it differently. And in the beginning, when you do those quite intense leg movements and arm movements and everything just hurts. And then, Alfredo, you were talking about the out breath and the in breath, and that space in between. That space in between is where everything is possible. It's that space of nothingness, and at the same time, the space where everything is available to you. So when I do this breathing and I drop into that space after the inhalation, where I hold the breath for as long as I can, or the exhalation, like we did now, hold the breath for as long as we can, all of a sudden, it's almost like my body disappears and there's no pain anymore. The body becomes part of that peaceful allness that is available. And all of a sudden,
Yeah.
the pain is gone. I'm like, what is going on? Right?
Yeah.
And it's a split second of that, where, as you say, there's this peace and there's connection with everything there is. And then you carry on, you know, and every day is different. Every day is different. And you also said something, Alfredo, it's that to actually do it, there's a lot of devotion and conviction, you know, or commitment, if you want to use that word too. And it's
Yeah.
worth it. So that's my story there.
I'll cut a bounce topic real quick, because I forgot about this, but I wanted to bring it up. But like, I had, when I was in the master, I'm getting back there again, like I'm having to remaster it, but it would get to points where I would, every fucking day, I would do my sunrise meditation with my, you know, meditations and revocations in the background, and then breathing in the sun for like 30 minutes. Right when I get like to a 30-minute mark, that's when the intensity started occurring. Just like get these super breaths, and before you know it, like, you know, my vision starts altering. Like, it gets intense as fuck. Like, if I'm standing, I gotta sit because I'm about to fall down. But it'll get to this point where I start hearing like intense vibrations, wah, 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 and I start seeing geometries morphing in and out. And it's like you get like this micro dose of tripping, and it's intense. It's super intense, and it's always like, it's like, whoa, just like it, and like you said, like you get the pain relief, you'll get the body releases, you get all these things. It's just an all-encompassing practice that it does so much for the body. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I just want to say, and oh yeah, and then on top of that, if y'all ever look up this anime called Demon Slayer, it's a pretty good little anime, but they have this part. All these animes, they have all these Eastern tradition like teachings, like about the chakra system, the energy system. They have this part where they talk about total concentration breathing. It's like you cannot move further until you master the total concentration breath. So these guys that slaying demons, they're just spend days, months on end, just like focusing on breath. And then eventually they get to a point, it's like, oh, to match that person, you got to be able to total concentration, breathe when you're sleeping. And I was like, well, what the fuck? I don't know how legitimate that is, but I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. Like it, it keeps you superhuman. It keeps the blood flowing. It just activates the, the DNA skin suit. And so, yeah, like breathe, remember to breathe. I'm done. I'll drop it. Oh.
No, I like you said it, because it makes you superhuman. It actually, this is really where you're taking the body with you. You're using that.
Yeah.
That's how we start kicking it off, right? Yeah. Is there anyone else who wants to share with us their breathing experience? Any particular breathing exercises?
I just want to say that I talk to so many people, in my client work, and, try to encourage them to do, the deep breathing and concentrated breathing. And it's amazing to me how many people say, wow, I always catch myself holding my breath, where the whole body seizes up and I just hold my breath. And I find that really, really interesting, right? It's like we've gotta use the breath, right? Bring in the oxygen, and the experience can, really shift us.
It's so easy to do that. I sometimes catch myself doing that. I'm thinking, oh, what is going on? And I'm glad you said it, Tanya, as well. And I'm sure Alfredo has to say to that too. It's like, it's the posture where you can perceive when you do this, when or you start tensing or something. So that's why when you do the breathing, right, you really release the shoulders down. You focus, you bring the heart forward. Alfredo.
Oh no, yeah, everything you were saying, like, yeah, posture is super important, because the better your posture it is, the more breath you can take in. Like, that's the key. And posture, everybody sees it differently, but to me, posture has always been like, you got your spinal column. Some people got the curve, some people got that. To me, the more aligned your spinal column is, the more you're that fucking super antenna, where you're picking up that super consciousness, that, that high, just picking up the universal source energy. And to me, like, posture is everything. So you want to take that super breath in, get, just like Martina said, like, shoulders back, open up, and just take it in. Like, posture is super important. And if you ever, I've learned a lot of techniques and tricks here and there, like, of course, kid and cranial sacral therapy. If you can't be going all the time, that you can buy some, I don't have them with me, but you can buy some cranial cradles. They're like little bitty, they're like, not like pillows, but like firm pillows. And you put them on the back of your head, and then on your tailbone, and just lay there, and it'll just let your body unwind, and you get that nice aligned posture. Cause I would always go like, I would lay on my back with my feet up, and then like put myself on the cranial cradles, get my posture aligned up, and then I'd be like, all right, we're going in. Let's meditate. Let's breathe by the spring. And like, I do my preparation before my breathing, because I know the preparation, all these little tools line up to make the super breath. And or even like, it's like, if my blood's not running, it's like, okay, fuck yeah, we got to do some cardio. Let's go run around a lap. Let's fucking get that heart going. You got to do jump rope. You got to dance. Like, anything you can do with your body to get that blood flowing, just do it. And the trees, don't forget about the trees. The trees are here to help us. They're equal co-creation as well. I would go out, run, get the heart pumping, get the blood flowing, and then put my back up against a tree, put my feet on the roots, and just be one with the tree, and just breathe. And you just be amazed how much that tree will help you ground and get your blood flowing. And you just become a tree, and you just stand tall. You're calm, you're rooted, you're grounded, you're picking up the frequency of the earth. And it's the druid magic, being the druid, it's
Being the druid, yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite word nowadays, because I was like, yeah, I gotta embody the druid, because embodying the druid is the key to, for me, to be in the concrete jungle. Because you got to be rooted, you got to be grounded, you got to have that nature frequency energy with you when you're in the concrete jungle. Because if you lose it, you can get caught up in that bubble of reality, and all sorts of, everybody knows, like spiritual hygiene. And, yeah.
So let's add that. Let me add something here. Let's add it to the breath. Let's add the grounding to the breath. All right. A very nice way of breathing is actually, we always say put your feet down onto the ground, but it's actually really nice to breathe in a squatting position. Yeah, to squat. And there's two ways of looking at it now, because think of one thing: when we're breathing, we are creating that fire in the dantian, which is just a couple of fingers, 2 fingers underneath the belly button in the abdomen. Yeah. Now for the women, think of womb. Yeah. For the guys, you don't have a womb, but think of your fire around in the abdomen, just underneath there. Yeah. And then you're drawing, as you breathe in, you draw from the earth, you connect to the womb. For the ladies, connect to the womb of the earth. And for the guys, connect to the earth, whatever you want to connect to. And then you're going to draw that energy up on the inhalation. Literally, for the girls, we draw it through our vagina, into the uterus, yeah, and all the way up. The guys through the anus, all the way up into the heart. And then from the heart here, drag it out into the lungs. Think of the color 8, infinity sign. Yeah, this is the breasts for the women, and the guys have breasts too. So draw it into that area all the way out, and then up into the throat, into the crown chakra and beyond. And then you exhale it all the way down again. So you can combine that grounding with the breath itself. Along the spine, of course, yeah, as Alfredo said. But it's nice to add a couple of things, and for the women in particular, of women and men, because it's the power center there, yeah. It's just the female side is obviously because of the creation in the womb chakra, right? In the sacral chakra, but it's all about sacral chakra. So the new way of creating, not a new way, but a way of creating with that breath is really focusing on that sacral chakra, whatever you want to, use it for, and then dragging it up into the heart. That's all I wanted to say, Alfredo. Over to you.
Oh no, you're good. If anybody wants to share, go ahead. You're good. Or I can jump into the next topic. But if anybody wanted to share about breathing experiences, I'm very open to hear, because I love hearing about them. I love hearing about people's, mystical, spiritual experiences. It's awesome.
I want to share.
Yes, Irina. Yes, hey, Irina's got the fire. I want to hear Irina.
I had magical experience with breathing, and to be honest, I really didn't know what I'm doing. It was in the beginning of my awakening, early 90s. And this book of Leonard Orr got to me, and it was translated because I wasn't in the US at that time. So I don't know how much of Leonard was information, because I got into this experience. Sometimes when you read translated literature, it's not exactly what it was in original. But I hope it was connected to his vision of breathing. And he proposed this type of breathing when you go to water and you immerse yourself from your coccyx to your crown, so from your first chakra to your crown chakra, into water and let it flow. Of course, you do it in a bathtub when you don't have approach to any pool. So your legs folded, but your spine column floating in the water. And you are breathing, you're allowing going underwater and then emerge. And your breath showing you how you are entangled, how much you can be in that harmony with breathing, emerging under the water and then coming out when you need to in breath. And I found out that it's very interesting because body knows where it needs to lift you from under the water. And sometimes when you are in depression, body is not taking care of that. You are laying under the water, you don't have already oxygen, it's gone from your system, but body is not taking you out. So I learned how you can, through this simple technique, work with your understanding of depression. What Andrew's saying, that entanglement, that is not allowing you to step into your illumination, to continue moving with your discovery, who you are, your journey. So I healed myself enough to understand that, and it was very comfortable breathing in and out, very rhythmic breathing in and out, and you work with water, and you got to this moment when you are in bliss, actually. Each your cell in bliss, like you already guys shared, and your mood, your emotional body stepping into the same vibration, you are in that bliss energy. And it was so powerful for me. I was continuing to breathe that way, rhythmic breathing in and out with no pause, just in and out very rhythmically. And you concentrating your sensations on your back wall, you know, like yogic breathing. You breathe pranayama through your nose, and you do it through your nose all the time, in and out. So at some point, I got to this bliss state when I was aware about my breathing day and night. I really was aware, and my breath became very extended. It was long, long in, long, long out. And guys, I even didn't think anything what's happening with me. I was in the beginning of my awakening. I was so happy, something changing inside of me. And really, I was accumulating that bliss and energy inside of me. And at some point, that bliss energy brought me into opening spontaneously my crown chakra, my third eye. And it was looking through my crown chakra up. And I was seeing in both directions with my eyes here and with my crown, real picture, like trees above me. Not something imagined, a real picture of this world. I still was continuing breathing like that. So it was very interesting experience. Yes, you can become consciously aware about your breathing at night, when you sleep, and day. It never stops. I was kind of like lucidly connected to my breath. So this was my interesting experience. But like you said, Martina, you're very true. We need grounding. I didn't know anything about grounding at that time. And of course, I got into some situations without grounding. But this was beautiful experience and beautiful reminder. You can reach that conscious connection to universe, and you can breathe and see spherically, connected to everything that you are in this universe. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Irina. That was awesome. If anybody's got an experience, go ahead. Otherwise, I'll see what I can pull out here from my hat. Let's see.
Lana says your mic is a bit loud. Any
Oh
chance
yeah, sorry.
down a bit?
Yeah, I just got a new cord here. That's why.
Maybe
More
you can
potent than I thought.
down a bit. Yeah. Thanks,
Is
Lana.
that all right?
Say something so I can hear you.
Oh, is this okay, Lana?
Yes, that's much better. Thanks.
Yeah, sorry, this is a brand new mic, so I'm like still learning about it.
You're fine. But it's much better
Okay,
now.
awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so let's see what we got. So with this power breath, this master breath, you know, you get this invigoration of energy surging through you and all this stuff. And it's always been a helpful tool for me in my life and my lifestyle, because I know some of y'all might be wondering like, oh, what does Alfredo do? Like, what's his job? I'll come out with it now because it's for a while, like I was always thinking about it negatively, like, oh, I gotta get out of this job. I gotta be a healer. I gotta be like, yeah, it's a part of my path, and I want to embrace that because I feel like that's the next step, the next level that I need to grow into. But I went through this whole journey that got me to get into meat cutting, and it's just been something I've been growing with throughout my life. I had a handful of meat cutting jobs here and there, and I had all this. There's probably a karmic resolution or whatever, but dealing with all different types of personalities and testosterone dudes and all sorts of shit. So I went from being like a kid who was controlled by my mom, low self-confidence, didn't believe in myself, just always never got the girl or whatever, to like fuck this life. I'm like gonna step up my game. I'm gonna get healthy as fuck. I don't care what anybody thinks about what I'm doing, because I'm just doing it for me, and that's it. And that's when you get the super breath, the superpowers, and I learned a lot about meat cutting. I got to work with where I had all these jobs, and then I eventually got to the biggest. I'm working at the biggest health food store in Austin, Texas, probably the biggest in the country, maybe even in the world. I don't know. I'm not too sure, but it's massive as fuck. But I got into there. I had this, I was super invigorated. Like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna, I'm so dedicated about health foods. Like, I want to be in this area, and I want to, just learn from the best. And I was always surrounded by all these masters of the art, like masters of meat cutting. Like, just they had so much, just to see the amount of care and respect and the meticulous nature of the trait. Like, just to me, I mean, it's always, the perspective has always grown and evolved, all sorts of things. And then like had moments where I was like, oh, you know what, I'm just a vegan vegetarian meat cutter and I don't eat meat, but I cut meat. And it's like I was like, man, I gotta eat meat. Like, it's an important protein, because I listened to myself before when I was a vegan vegetarian. I was like, oh man, I was so weak. And I was like, oh, I gotta up my protein, more power, more energy, more, more, yeah. But yeah, I'll go ahead and, yeah, so I wanted to go ahead and share like how I channel my power and potency, because, of course I do Andrew's teachings, I do sun breathing, all these things, and gather my energy. But I wanted to go ahead and share, y'all guys, I'm sure a lot of y'all are energy sensitive and y'all can pick up on energy. So I wanted to just show you some of my knives and see if you can kind of feel the power, because all that power channels through these knives. And I know that they have, it's the channel where the energy comes into the meat, and I pay my respect to the animal before I send it off to wherever it goes, like a steak or a roast. Or I know that through all the animals been through, through all the animals been through, to the, from being born to like all the way to being on the dinner table, like it goes through my hands last. So I have a responsibility to pay respect for that animal. So to me, in my expression, it's making the most beautiful fucking art with that meat. Just cutting the perfect steak every fucking time, because I know someone's gonna get that steak, and I know people are gonna buy it. I have no doubts in my mind, because I'll come into work, people do their work, and I know whatever I cut, I know it's gonna fucking sell, because it's got my signature frequency stamp on it. And the people, they'll come in, they'll see it, and it's like they're just drawn to it. I see that they're drawn to the energy of it, and it's just, it's been interesting to see and observe. And like, I know it's I don't know, it's cool, like learning Andrew's teachings. And then like you see, this is my favorite one. This is my main steak knife, roast knife. This is my baby. I call him everybody's calls him different names, but he's my tried and true. He's the one that my final level where I was able to get my full embodiment and step up on all this stuff. And yeah, it's been a weird passion, weird, like, I don't know, something, I'm sure past lives I've maybe doing this, but like I know that that's something I've mastered and I need to move to the next level. But it's always been a channel for my power, my potency, my super illuminal flow states, which are just like, I don't even know, it's you enter these states, these flow states, and it's just like, it's like you look at it, it's like, oh, okay, 8 hours of work, but it goes by like a fucking roller coaster. It's like 8 hours seems like nothing. It just boom, just like come in, everything's in flow. It's just like a fucking roller coaster, and it's like, I'm not gonna lie, I probably had been addicted to that, and I know that it's like I'm getting older. I know I gotta take care of my body, but yeah, it's been a wild ride. And
Alfredo,
yeah. Oh yeah,
your
go ahead,
knife,
Lana.
your knives remind me of Crocodile Dundee when you put up the first one. You're like, oh, this is a knife.
Yeah, they're amazing. They're super lightweight. They got like the best grip ever. If you're ever in Austin and need a badass steak, I'll get you the best fucking steak I can scrounge up, and
Well,
it's
thank
gonna be
you.
cut with love and passion. You know, it's
Yeah.
I gotta, people will wait for me because they want me to cut their meat, and like, I get it, I understand it, and it's like I got a responsibility to. I don't know. Anyways, just, yeah, that's a
You
little
do it
bit more
with
about
love.
me.
You do it with love.
Yeah.
So it's gonna get to the right people.
Yeah, it's I've been seeing it, multidimensional meat cutting. It's not just, oh, I'm just cutting meat. It's like, no, think about it from the multidimensional aspect, like all the whole equation of what goes on in the whole process from from here to there. Like I'm in it, I'm in the process. And
Yeah, and you're
just,
showing respect to the animal as you're cutting the meat, and you're sharing that. You're putting your, as you said, your energy and your love in the meat. So whomever is going to purchase that meat for consumption is going to receive your energy and your love, and the animal will also share in that DNA of the people that would eat that meat, as well as yours. So that's a wonderful thing, Alfredo. You're doing the right thing.
You know,
oh, thanks, Lana.
you mentioning that you wanted to be a healer. Do you know what you are? That is no. I mean, this is an amazing. I love the way you look at that, and also Tanya is just saying extension of your fingers. It's like straight from the heart chakra. And you know, this new energy I just read the other day, this new energy is where all species are the same, obviously. And we're going to start recognizing that with our animals. And of course, that also includes the animals that we are eating. Do you know that honoring of the animal with that level of love and respect, like Lana is it's amazing. It's amazing. Thanks for sharing that, Alfredo. I love that.
Well, what I was thinking is that you're going back to the original way of a shaman to when you're working with the animal for food. So by putting your energy and paying attention, and you're learning from some of the best people in the business of how to treat the animal correctly when you're cutting the meat and all that. So where you're at, you're in your rightful place right now, Alfredo. I can say that much. So good for you. And you're practicing the way of the shaman again, and you're sharing that with everyone else who's probably thinking about taking up that trade at some point. So you're like a pioneer for the new type of shaman handling the future of meat. So that's great. I commend you for that. Wonderful.
Thanks, Lana. I'm getting emotional just hearing that.
I also want to
It's
bring.
been
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I also want to bring in the energy of the Neanderthal and the artistry and the mastery of the Neanderthal. That's what's been coming up for me as well. How deep does that knowingness, that wisdom go for you, you cutting that meat in a particular way?
It just comes so fluid and naturally. Like I don't know. It's just so like, it just like breathing. It's just fucking just like boom. I just do it, and I didn't. I don't know. I just always been good at it. Like I never questioned it or nothing. I mean, maybe question it when people have the projections, like, oh, that's blah, 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 how dudes are gonna talk shit or whatever. It's like, but I always knew, like, I always cut the best I could. I didn't, everybody's has their projections or their feelings of inferiority or whatever challenges. I've always come across like a lot of challenges from other people because people are competitive. Just like Andrew's teachings, like non-competition, like people that see the cutting, there is a very competitive environment, like want to compete with each other, like, I cut the best fucking meat, I sell the best meat, like all this competition bullshit nonsense. Like it's just like, I'm not here to compete with you, I'm here to master my art. I'm here to do it my way, not your way. And every time I did it my way, and I was coming in with my flow state and not getting caught up in the competition, getting caught up in the control, getting caught up in all this stuff, the day would go smooth. It was smooth, and I would get out of work, and I was like, yeah, I just got a bunch of work done. I'm going to go to the party. I'm going to go to this. I'm going to go do that, hang out. Like, the energy never ended. And it was when I got caught up in the competition, got caught up in, it's like, oh, make sure you do this, make sure you do that, get a caught up in control. Like, no, I'm going to do what I want to fucking do because I know what I'm doing here. Like, it's just totally different perspective and approach to it. And I understand the mechanics more and more the more I've been in the business, and how I have a huge influence on people just being me, just being my vibration, emitting my frequencies. Just it changes and alters the environment, and I understand and acknowledge that I am an anchor point in this place that disperses all this meat. And it kind of like when we're doing the meditation, it kind of creates a grid because I'm spreading out all the signature frequencies, all these different directions. And I see it in the people's expressions when they come up to me, like they're like just so grateful, just for me cutting their fucking meat. They're just, the amount of gratitude. Like while I was like, oh man, it's just sickening. Like, I'm just cutting meat for you. It's a big fucking deal. But now, like, I see it, I understand it, and I'm learning to acknowledge it more and more. Like, it's not just cutting meat. It's the way I do it. Who I am, how I express myself. People want to people love to see me zoned in on that source connected. Like, I'm in the zone. Like they love it. It's like, I wouldn't say entertainment. There's just something about it that draws them in. Like my vortex, the immensity of my vortex draws people in, and they just like, they see the source connection, and I see it in them. I see it in yeah. That's anyways.
I think this is, this is something that each one of us are doing in our own way with our own gifts, as way showers, as anchor points of energy into this new energy, where you are grounding and allowing who you are to to be grounded and work like the pebble in the pond, right? Spreading ripples of energy through earth. And it's like, it's like you're the shaman with the machete cutting the path through the jungle, and other people are following. So I love what you're teaching. I have one of my friends, kid, is talking about going into conscious butchery, is I think what I've been calling it, right? And I mean, there's a whole food system, farm system reform act that is being proposed by senators in Congress now to, help bring the little animals that are raised, the chickens and the pigs and the cows, back to more of a natural state of being raised. instead of the factory farming. So, you know, again, you're working like the pebble in the pond, and I see it and I appreciate it as well. So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah.
Alfredo, I was thinking when you were saying that you're doing it, but you're doing it so naturally that you don't know how you're doing it. But while you were saying that, I was thinking it's your memories, your DNA memories. You've probably done this many, many times in your past lives. And it's just naturally coming forward again for you to be doing that. And it's a new way of, as Tanya said, butchery now, to bring that back into our present reality in this era of light going forward. Um, and and as you know, it's, as I said, it's in your DNA already. It's a memory that you're remembering again. And this is the time for the remembering to happen, as Andrew would say, the time of the remembering. So you're naturally bringing that memory back slowly each day that you're doing it. So that's what I wanted to share.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been an evolving process, like just always evolving to like you said, like expanded states of awareness, expanded states of responsibility to yourself and to others. It's the more aware I get, the more I'm like, oh snap, like I got a responsibility here to uphold, and like it depends how much I take on, of course, but you know, yeah, I see the immensity of the responsibility that I have in the community that's around me, and it's just I just trying to find the right word for it. Just I don't know if pride is the right word, but oh, go ahead, Lana.
Don't let it weigh heavy on your shoulders as a responsibility. Let the responsibility come naturally to you day by day as you're working and you're doing the work, and you know, it will just happen for you because as I said, it's already there in your DNA. You know how to do this stuff. It's just the remembering again, because we've been so long in amnesia and we can't remember what we've done, what's in our lineage, DNA, and so on. So it's just a natural thing, and let it come day by day, and don't take it on as a heavy weight on your shoulder as that kind of responsibility. You're pioneering the future again, and so we're in the remembering.
Yeah. I'm getting better about being more lighthearted about it and just having fun. Like I always view the work as a playground. It's my playground. I'm here to play, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. I admire you for that.
Yeah. Thanks, Lana. Let's see. Anybody can chime in, whatever. I'm just going through my notes, see what I really, really want to share.
Shoba, if you're trying to say something, we can't hear you.
Yeah, Shoba.
Super. I love what you're saying, Alfredo. I mean, I've done the vegan vegetarian trip for so long, and now I get meat for my dog. I would love to go somewhere where they bring the prayer into what they're doing. That moment, it's like to honor what's happening. You know, it would be so fucking beautiful. Just to connect whoever we can meet. Because where I go, it's all kind of like slapdash and everything. And it's like, I'm trying to bring the prayer into the animal that's there while it's being sliced up, because for my dog, she eats the meat. And I would love to go we can bring that prayer into what they're doing. And to honor what they're doing, to bring the craft in. Just that word, honoring what they're doing. This would be, for me, so precious to engage with someone like that in a few moments, even without physical engagement, but just being there to honor that moment. So thank you for saying that. I'm missing that in my life. Okay? I wish there were more of you.
You're gonna make me cry, Shopa.
No, don't, just keep trucking
No,
on.
I'm
Beautiful. Beautiful. And that's what people
oh, go
feel.
ahead. Sorry.
That's what, when they come to you, they're going to feel that energy that's coming out. It's like they don't want that other meat that's chopped up. They want this honored meat. Thank you. It touches you.
Amazing thing is as well,
Thank you, Shopa.
it actually tastes better. It literally tastes better.
Yeah,
People want to know why.
yeah.
Because of the putting in and that respect and everything. It's I think we all need to move to Texas to get a proper steak by the sounds of it. I have
That
to
was always. Oh, sorry. That was always my running joke. Like, I could taste how the chef feels. Like when I'm eating restaurant food, I always joke around about that. Cause, yeah. Go ahead, Martina.
well, that's the imprint, you know, like whoever cooks it, you know, whoever, it's all part of it, isn't it? I mean, my partner is a South African, and he adores meat. He loves cooking it on an open fire, wood fire. And the compliment he
Nice.
for just a normal, you know, like a supermarket steak is amazing because of what he does with the fire. It's the alchemy. You do the knife alchemy, he does the fire alchemy before, you know, before he even puts it on. So this is, but these are the things, you know, when we talk about, so what's your purpose? Oh, that's my purpose. Well, it's part of my purpose. It's part of your purpose to do that, right? We think it's God knows something else. No, part of my purpose is to cut this meat in a certain way and to honor it. That's my purpose. Oh, really? Yes. Part of it, at least.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Running after our purpose, right? What is it? It has to be this, it has to be that. You know, we must just destroy and uncreate everything we've perceived or expected or projected what our purpose is supposed to be look like, you know? And just actually, again, like Alfredo shows us, it's the joy that expresses you being on purpose and purposefully, you know, working and living. It's the joy. You cycling through your woods. I mean, what contribution is that? You know, yes, the trees are a contribution to us, but you are a contribution to the trees, to the path, to the cycle, and you're actually making an effort to do it. That is that specific action. So what are you, Alfredo? What are you getting from the animal? What is your exchange with the animal itself?
Oh, say it again. I think I missed parts of it.
What is your exchange with the unspoken exchange with the animal that you are cutting? What are you getting from the animal? What are they contributing to you?
That's a good question. I never. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not.
But ask
I mean. Oh, go ahead.
ask the carcass next time you cut. Ask the meat and really get that flow of exchange going, because there's a lot of contribution. I mean, guys, just get the energy, all of us. Get the energy of all these animals who want to actually contribute to Alfredo for the job that he's doing. You get that energy, how strong that is? you receive that? Can you lower your barriers there and just receive that energy? What they want to gift you, Alfredo.
Well, the only thing that's coming to me is just love, like
Mm.
love, love, love. And I know the animals like me. I know everybody has like they're cool, like, oh, I saw, lizard people, I saw draconians. I don't know, they see all these cool things, and like to me it's always like I see animals. Like that's my reoccurring thing, is like everywhere I go, the animals, they always connect with me in some weird way. Like just I don't know, the animals always are very present in my life. That's always been a reoccurring theme that I've noticed with my level of awareness. Animals that come to visit me. It doesn't matter where I'm at or what, wherever, they just come and visit. And then it's those moments where I'm just looking at the animal. It's like, okay, I'm going through some weird stuff right now, and then I just see the armadillo just walking by, like real slow and calm and collected. It's like, yeah, armadillo, you're right. Like, why am I getting all worked up? Like, I should just be the armadillo, just chill the fuck out. And where like I was doing everywhere I go, there's this heron that flies over me. He follows me everywhere. He's just fucking ridiculous. Like, he'll follow me at the apartment. I was doing breathing and listening to our meditation. And when I was doing my deep breathing and listening to that meditation, this white heron just flies real low next to me. And he's just like watching me, maybe unentangled, disentangled observer at the same time. I don't know, who knows, whatever. But he's always like this. These animals are always following me around. They're jumping out. They're showing their faces. Like, hey, I'm here. Like, check. There's something's going on here. I connect to it in a little bit of way, but I don't go too deep into it. But I know that animals are very affectionate, very loving. That might be how they're repaying me and visiting me. And I don't know, I just get the word love that keeps coming to me. Animals are always very nice with me. They're very, yeah.
Receiving the gifts from the unseen, or even from the seen, from the ones that can't necessarily speak to us directly. It's one of the things with all the opening at the moment. Yeah. Yes, there are responsibilities, and one of the responsibilities is to receive.
Yeah. I think about it. Yeah, because. Yeah. Let me bring this up, because I was thinking about the receiving the love, because was it like a few weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago, but Andrew had his little thing, just talking about his book, like, oh, I'm here, ask questions about the disentangled observer cat technology, because I was curious about that. And he told me the whole mechanics of the unentangled and disentangled observer simultaneously, so the angel beings can do their work without being entangled. I don't know, it was very complex and cool, just thinking about it and listening to it. And then afterwards I was like, oh man, I gotta go talk to my cat. I gotta talk to Strider. I gotta see what the fuck's going on with him, because he always has this look in his face, like he's so wise. He just knows so much, and I don't even have to ask him. I got to a point, I was like, all right, let me sit here, let me breathe, let me meditate, let me try to communicate with him. And I was getting some responses here and there, and he just sounds wise, like super wise, and he's just like, I don't know the details. I forgot all the exact words, but he's like, just open your heart and just like you said, receive. And I got this warm feeling in my heart, and it was just like I got like a heart healing from him, and it changed my relationship with him, because I gotta just, I don't know, there's so much magic in the animals, so you got to be willing to receive the blessings and the gifts, or whatever they got to give. It was just the dog comes to lick you or whatever. There's here to express love unconditionally,
Can I say a couple words?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. When Martina, you proposed to tune into that exchange between Alfredo and animals, I received information that you, Alfredo, can be more involved in your physical existence exchange with those animals you are serving physically. It's not just all on energy level. You physically serving, you working with physical a part of beings, of animals. And what I received, you can start working like a part of your grounding, to ask, to see, to converse with those animals. You are working with spirits that assist you in your physical, whatever you are doing in your life, whatever going on in your physical life. This is what I received. And it's kind of like part of your grounding. You receive a lot of energy from that. And this is how practically you can assist your physical existence. Am I clear?
Interesting. Yeah. I'll definitely gotta re-listen to it, of course. But yeah, like I could be
start more communicating what your needs, desires, and wants in your physical world. They can assist you with that.
Yeah, I never. Yeah, you're right. I haven't even taken that into account.
And it will be your part of your responsibility for being physical, not just spirit. You are physical in this life now. So animals you work with, their spirits can assist you to in your physical grounding of your soul experience.
Oh yeah. No, I got you. It's clicking now. Yeah. No. Yeah. That could help a lot. No. Hell yeah. I'd never even thought about that. Yeah. Thank you, Irina. That's brilliant. That's amazing. I'm always trying to find ways to ground because it's just super important. But that's a whole different only thing I could use. Yeah, that's crazy. Thank you.
May I say something? Add something to that. When Irina was
Yes.
saying about the physical, what I was feeling like I was picking up for you is that you perhaps could drive around your local area where there are ranches and things like that, where they farm animals. And what I was feeling is like you, when you do that, you create a revocation because it seems like the animals are asking you to help free them from the slavery of the farming situation, and that many of the animals are not free. And they're feeling that you, as like an animal shaman, can help them to lift that burden of enslavement from their environment, and you clear that out for them because they don't have a voice in the reality, but you do. You, as two-legged, has a voice and can help them. And if you sort of go back to the contract revocation that Andrew and Natalie did with the horse revocation, that could perhaps help you. And if you don't have a copy of the horse revocation, get in touch with me. I can give you a copy of it because I do have a copy of it. But follow that same type of revocation and help to clear out like the different places where the animals are on the ranches and things like that in a more general sense. And that will fulfill like your obligation in the physical world. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I know about the revocation you're talking about. Yeah, these are all just like perspectives I never really considered. But yeah, I could definitely.
Yeah, well, that's what came to me as Irina was telling you about the physical, and that's probably something that the animals are kind of asking you to assist them with.
Yeah. Thank you, Lona. I like that.
And I think that's why you're seeing so much of them around you, of different variety of different animals. they're coming to you hoping that you'll get sort of like the message, and saying message received or message not received, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's what I wanted to mention here. Thanks.
No, no, thank you, Lana. I like that. Yes. Yeah, again, so many cool like perspectives here. Oh, man.
Well, you're not just Alfredo, you're more than Alfredo, because you're working on the unseen, in the unseen world as well, multidimensionally, and you're just remembering now. So you're more than you're seen, read, or studied, you know, about yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm at the run in my car because my battery's dying, but y'all can keep going. It'll just take me a second. I get her to. Y'all still there?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, I'm gonna run my car because my battery's dying. But if anybody wants to say something or input, I think I had a hard. These past few days have been intense because I had so much surge of energy after my spiritual purification process that I haven't been able to sleep very well, and like my routine. It's been I've been having a hard time getting organized with all this surge of energy.
Alfredo, is probably, you know, what if you didn't have to organize that energy? What if you could just allow the chaos? What if you had
Yeah.
peace in that chaos and just allow the chaos to be there? You know what I mean? Because
I've been having to do that, yeah, because my
just crawl back into the box. You know, once you start organizing it, just keep yourself grounded. You know, in an instant moment.
yeah.
So after that strong energy. Until you're ready. Okay, I've just muted Alfredo until he's ready here. And we can just use that question for probably for all of us, you know, as we're going through the next couple of weeks, months, years, and you know, we're starting to release that tremendous amount of energies, and you know, it is really very often that we're trying to go back, and what if you don't have to do that? And then the question is really, what can we add to our lives? You know, there is a lot to be said about change and everything. And sometimes it's just about creating something completely new, because those energies are really creator energies. They're coming through by releasing all our conditioning and all our dysfunctionality, and obviously with the veils lifting and everything. So what can we add to our lives? Who or what can we add to our lives? And really keep it as an open question. And, you know, no matter what we've done, what we've loved, like, you know, Alfredo's been a meat cutter forever, or for a long time now. That doesn't mean that he has to do that. Just because he's good at it doesn't mean that he has to do it for the rest of his life. What if that is the beginning for him to start moving? I think we've lost him now, so I just keep talking a little bit until he gets back. It's the beginning for him to acknowledge his capacity with animals, and then, you know, he could buy a ranch and start, you know, working with animals, and he's got these amazing, you know, gifted kids who would definitely benefit from that sort of connection as well. So who or what can we add to our lives? I think that is a really good question to keep on asking at the moment. you know, and then see what comes up. How does that sit with you? Have you been doing that already, or until we get Alfredo back?
For me, I'll share. For me, I've been just kind of looking at how to add to and re-envision my own business, right? As a healer doing individual sessions, but how do I open that up more fully to serve more of the collective, and kind of add a whole new dimensionality to the work? Because again, like I was saying earlier, we're all way showers, right? We're all on the front lines of this ascension process, and really being in service to an awakening humanity, I think. So being open and being allowing of new energies to come in, and not feeling like totally set on, oh, I have to do things this way because this is the way I've done it before.
Absolutely, Tanya, and also reminding ourselves of the non-linearity. And it's almost like we don't have to just have one business. What if we can have a multitude of businesses that have maybe the same origin, consciousness, if you want to take that, but and really work with that. And not every business needs your attention on a daily basis, even, so you can run a couple. We are all very multi what's the word? Well, we are creators. We're powerful creators, and the potency is gonna like look at Alfredo, all this energy that's coming through. There's almost a situation that will come where we're gonna kill just one business with the energy, because it's not fast enough for us. It's not strong enough. It's not giving us what we need. So we have to start diversifying and adding things to our life so that we can take that energy and not destroy with it, because it can destroy. That potency can destruct as well. Alfredo, you're back. We were just saying, we're just adding a little bit to, once these energies, like potency and power and all of that is coming out, there's that question, who or what can we add? Yes. Who or what can we add to our lives, to actually make use of all that energy? And it will be a new thing, because we're not used to having that amazing energy. And instead of killing it again, let's not do that. Let's just add stuff to our lives.
Yeah, I like that, because instead of it's a different perspective. It's more constructive, I guess you could say. I like it.
Well, it's just we have to start acknowledging, this awakening business. I mean, that your fire that's coming through. Yes, we need to, there's that element of fire that's coming through at the moment, and then the water will come in again. It's just like ebb and flow. This is like the seasons, and like everything, it's going to happen anyway. But once we're on top, let's acknowledge it, and let's not make it significant, okay, either. Because as soon as we make it significant, we're going to go into judgment. Oh, I'm not doing anything with this now. Yeah. No, it is what it is right there and then. The main thing is you stay in the question with it. What let's do with this now? What wants to be created? What wants to be actualized? And don't limit yourself to the animal kingdom. Yeah, the animal kingdom, they are with you all the time, gifting and receiving, gifting and receiving. And what else is possible? What else can you do with that new energy now? And we're just saying, you've got this amazing kids who would benefit, of course, working with animals, and not necessarily you teaching big knives how to cut them, but actually, working with them in synergy. looking after them. Or, you know, I mean, working on you're in Texas, right? Working on a ranch, you know, living on a ranch and actually, you know, showing them what it's like, the normal, the natural circle of life, all of that. And then teaching, you are a teacher. Yeah, you don't even have to open your mouth. This is the new kind of teaching as well. The new kind of teaching, new kind of teaching, let's call it new kind of teaching, is no longer necessarily with our voices, it's actually with our actions.
Yeah, I love that. It's I always like no, exactly, because I always laugh, like all these people are like, oh, you know, they're all big talk, like all this big talk, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, all sound all manly about it. It's like, why should you guys just shut the fuck up and just do it? Like, take action, you know. Fucking, you guys are spending a fucking hour talking about all this stuff you gotta do. I'm just like, it's nonsense. Just fucking do it and lead, fucking inspire. Like, I worked around some people that fucking inspire the whole fucking crew to like be their best, and to see that is the power and the immensity of a fucking true leader, to be able to inspire, because that person is source connected, they're doing what they love, they're doing what they enjoy. And I might be too loud, but yeah, and it's just to see the power and the immensity of that influence that a leader can have upon a collective. It's amazing to see when you see old people that like they're ready for retirement, they got their busted knees, and they're still like, oh, I'm you know, still working hard as fuck just for this one guy that inspired the shit out of them to do their best. You know, it's a beautiful thing to see, and it's just amazing. And yeah, action, lead by action. You know, I don't like, you know, talk is one thing. The voice is very important. It can influence and create the reality, but it's leading by action. You know,
Well,
we always. Oh, go ahead.
Action. We talk about synchronicities, you know, following the breadcrumbs, the synchronicities. But the synchronicity is an energy that is being conjured up through action. Yeah. And then there is also, we don't want to we're not, again, no significance, because that's when we go into judgment. Everything is just an interesting point of view, really, looking at that. It's embodying that energy. As soon as you embody that energy, you know, you start that, which is an action too. You start embodying that energy, and the synchronicities are being almost, you're tapping into that flow of synchronicities just by being that energy of contribution. So it's not just about do. It's about being the energy as well, which is a kind of doing. Like, to give you an example, I was like, I've been working on this sacred woman goddess energy, which has a lot of sexualness as well. So sacred woman goddess, dharmic warrior of peace, right? And I thought, okay, I'm going to go and do a walk today and just embody that energy. And I felt good. I was strutting my stuff and everything. And then halfway through, you know, the car's passing by, you know, and then halfway through, somebody calls out the car asking me how much. And I'm like, what?
Oh, what? Jesus.
She got
That's so funny.
You know what? I had to laugh so much, because I thought, oh my God, it's working. This wasn't what I was going for, but I thought, shit, if you embody that energy, God knows it will be taken, depending on their filters, you know.
It was working too much for you. Turn it down a little bit.
Yeah.
But that was also an action. There was a focus to it. I thought, okay, let me play with this. Let me play with it. And it immediately created something, not necessarily what I wanted, but you know, it made me laugh. Yes. Anyway.
It was confirmation. for you.
That was a confirmation to it that I obviously embodied the energy, because that shit hasn't happened to me for a long time.
What better confirmation than that do you need?
So funny.
That's awesome.
So just and that goes with anything. It goes with kindness, whatever you're working with. Really focus. Focus creates. And then really see how the shit at the moment gets actualized quite quickly. Quite quickly. And if you don't like what's being actualized in your environment at the moment, then choose a different focus, right? And stay in the question. What can I add to my life? What can I add to my life? What energy can I embody now in order to create what I want to create? But I'll let you get back to Alfredo. I just covered whilst you were gone. So back to you, over to you.
Oh no, you're good. I need a little break for a second. This is cool. This whole process of like doing my presentation was like a cool, like, it was an awesome learning experience, because I just being in the, like, preparing this stuff, and like I was like, oh man, like I just got, you know, a higher appreciation for what you and Andrew do, and like just it's I don't know, it's cool as fuck. I like it. I'm learning a lot about myself in this whole process of trying to organize my story and my context and stuff.
Exactly.
Oh, go ahead.
And again, you're a teacher to everyone else on school and whoever's going to watch it, you know? Just get the fire behind your ass and come on.
Yeah.
He was like, it wasn't planned for today. And then he was on such fire, said, you know what, let's do it today. And he's, yeah, you know what, let's do it, you know? But just do it.
Yeah.
Do it at some stage. More or not, just do it. And we learned so much about you. I had no idea you were a conscious butcher. Love that. Thanks, Tanya, for that. You're the conscious butcher now. Now you're defined. I'm sorry. We've got you pinned down. Conscious butcher. Are you happy with that?
It's different. I don't like to label it. I was like, I like multidimensional meat cutter. That's cool, but conscious cutter, that's cool too. Yeah, I don't know. I just know I'm not in the normal, like, just do my 8 hours, go home and talk about like, oh, is it 3 o'clock yet? Is it 4 o'clock? It's like, no, like I'm just like embodying, you know, the flow of energy.
Do you know?
No, I like it's cool. It gives me a different perspective on it. I've been throughout my life.
And also, Alfredo, the other thing is remind yourself, or, you know, think of that. If you say, it's also, you know who you are, and you know you can't be boxed in. So whatever people will call you at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes when you run a business, and when you do this as your own business at some stage or not, I don't know. It's a question of what can people hear. You say, I'm a multidimensional meat cutter or a conscious butcher. What can they hear? What can they understand?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So sometimes, and I've had issues with boxing myself in forever, until I became so founded within and manifested within my, fortified rather, within myself, that I knew it doesn't matter what people call me or what I call myself. It's a matter of what do I tell people so that they can hear me and buy from me or come to me. And that's really the multidimensionality behind running your own business. You know, you're not less, no matter what they call you, but you know what you need to call yourself in order for people to get who you are.
Yeah. I remember you talked about this a while back. Yeah, it's bridging the gap. So like, you're not so far high up there, like, oh, I am this super multidimensional. It's like I'm, you know, community cutter, or like whatever, you know, whatever I could come up with, you know. I know I want to get into integrating, you know, more therapy in my life, for my, not just for myself, but, you know, for my autistic kids, because yeah, like I know I need to give him cranial sacral therapy because it helps with autism. Like it's like the path, the destiny, like the whole way my life. Yeah, like, no, I need to step up more, you know, embrace this stuff.
Well, introduce them to the animals.
Yeah. I need to do that because yeah, they're very animal. Yeah.
Introduce them to the
Oh,
animals,
man.
and they will do a lot of work with them. What else you
Yeah.
want to talk about to us, Alfredo?
I'll let's see. I got a little bit more. I got cool stuff. Let's see. Should I talk about the druid posture? So the other things I got foods for spirituality. Some of my favorite because it's important to take care of that dreaming body. It's the utmost importance to keep your plumbing system going. You know, I got fasting and doing your own colonics. You know, I don't know. All these things empower you, of course, like eating good food, you know, detoxing, colonics, doing your green juice, bone broth. You're doing bone broth. I use a lot of bones at work because I get all sorts of bones from, you know, the pigs, beef, whatever. Anything I cook, I save all my fucking bones. All those bones are gold. Save those bones. Put them in the freezer, whatever you're done eating, throw them in there, let them stack up and build up. And what I like to do, if these are just tips for anybody like trying to advance their game and grow and develop or whatever, but I used to like do like the boil of the bone broth. You got to put it on the stove top for like a whole fucking day or 2 days to like really get it rich with collagen. Get yourself a pressure cooker. You pressure cook those bones like 2 to 3 hours tops. That thing is rich and full of collagen. That'll help your dreaming body immensely, in my opinion. It's instant fuel. It's got all sorts of enzymes and good protein. It's just life changing. Sauerkraut. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Alfredo, with the bone
Oh.
broth, what else do you put vegetables in or not?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry. So yeah, I had to alter the recipe because I used to make it like traditional, like, you know, take the two or three stalks of celery, the 2 carrots, onion, little garlic, little ginger, salt, a little bit of apple cider vinegar to help break down the bones. You could add more stuff if you want, like if I want to get spicy, throw in a pepper or two or whatever. And, you know, of course you do your prayers if you want to add more energy to the bone broth. But I was using my basic recipe, but I had to cut the carrots out because I'm still getting my gut flora balanced up so candida doesn't, you know, take over. So I'm on a very strict no sugar diet. But yeah, the good old, keep it simple. Like all these foods, like feels like, oh, I gotta make this super recipe. I get in this experience with a lot of people that are into cooking. Like they make it this grandiose thing. Like, oh, I gotta get the recipe. I gotta follow this recipe to a T. I gotta have, you know, 1 teaspoon of this, like, fuck the recipes. You make your own stuff, what you feel like you want to add to the recipe. Like use the things you like, you know, like I just run into this scenario so much with people. They make this cooking like this grandiose things. Like just do it, you know, just like make that super broth, you know, make that good broth and keep it simple, you know, keep it simple. That's what I do. I just keep it. I'm right now, the last one I made for my fast, I just did onion, garlic, ginger, little apple cider vinegar. I had a whole bunch of chicken bones, a whole bunch of lamb bones, and a few beef bones. I had a whole bunch of goodies.
And then you drink it. You add something to the soup itself, or you drink it just as
yeah. So it's for fasting because like I'm very keen on fasting because I know like when my body was working at its highest potentials is always when I did like these, you know, these fasts and like to keep. So the fast isn't drastic. Like I know you can do like all water. That's one way to fast. Like that's, you know, go hardcore. Yeah, go ahead. But like to me personally, when I'm fasting, I like to, you know, drink a ton of water. I always do the green juice. Like get yourself a juicer. That juicer will change your life. There's so many out there, but you know, just cucumber, you know, kale, parsley, celery, little lime, lemon, you know, a few other things you want to add. You want to add apple to sweeten it up a little bit. You can, you know, probably part of your diet, not so much mine, but do the juice, add some spirulina, some chlorella, you know, fuse it with your magic, drink that, and then drink water, and then of course drink the bone broth so you get your protein going. So you're still got some fuel going. The fast isn't as intense, but it's still like purifying you, cleaning you, and nourishing you, and giving you all that good stuff and healing your gut. And I was listening to the little segment with Andrew after I forgot to do this myself because I lost my wallet. I had all these things going on when I was making this stuff, making all my notes. I was losing my wallet. I was losing all sorts of stuff. But yeah, after you do your fast, he said eat kale because I always view my my dreaming body as like a plumbing system. Like, what are you going to send through that plumbing system to clear it out? Good fiber, of course, and like eating some kale. Like after you're done with your fast and your mucus is loose or whatever, eat that kale to like sponge it up, and it'll push all this stuff that's stuck in your intestines. Like you want to purify that intestine, just clean it out, and just having that clean. I honestly like I had my vacation. It started like a while back, but it really didn't start with clarity till I did my fast and I did my colonic. And then the clarity came as like, oh yeah, finally disentangled from all this other stuff that was just in my stomach. Got the mental peace and the surge of energy, all the things that come with it. Is super important power and potency to have that DNA technology running in pristine shape so you can have those super spiritual experiences and have that flow of energy and that clarity and that all the things that come with it. Oh, and then the last food, just you can make kombucha. Kombucha's great. That's super easy. It'll help your digestion. You don't have to drink a lot of it. I just do a shot because a shot every day just to get the enzymes in me. But sauerkraut, this is my life-changing food. This sauerkraut changed my life because I've been battling with candida for, I don't even want to use the word battling because that's not the right word to use for it, but I've been getting my stomach back in balance from all the destruction I did on it when I went after I went up with my breakup with my girlfriend a while back. Like I just went on a destructive path, like, I'll just drink and do that. And I had to, rebalance my gut flora, get it all back to norm. And sauerkraut, all it is just cabbage and salt. Just chop that cabbage up. You even have like one head, maybe like a tablespoon or so, maybe less of salt, and then or like 2 heads of cabbage, like a big mountain. Add a little salt. Just look it up. That cabbage, the probiotic, the enzymes, it's like pristine fiber. It's life changing. It went from me being like chaotic to anxiety, like this that till I'm like super calm and like, whoa, my gut flora changed, my whole consciousness is changing. I'm not as anxious and anxiety as I used to be because there was all these other things going on in my dreaming body. And I feel like sauerkraut's one of those like super future foods that I know when we start transitioning into the new reality, and it's not so much about the money trade system. It's more about like, what can we trade? Like, what can we, like, okay, I got some meat here, I'll trade you this for that, old traditional bartering system or whatever way it evolves into. I'm not too sure, but I feel like sauerkraut's one of those things you can grow it, you could chop it up, you could ferment it, and boom, you got food you could store and just eat and just keep your digestive system going. I haven't thought too far out into that realm, but like I know sauerkraut's going to be one of my staple foods going into the future for sure, like without a doubt. I'm not there yet, but like I know that it's going to be in the future. Go ahead, Martina, if you want to say something.
No, I was going to say fantastic, and it's great for the skin too, isn't it? Thanks.
Yeah.
Great reminders. Beautifully put. Yes. Let's get
I
back.
wanted to say I had cabbage for dinner last night. So you're talking about sauerkraut now. Yeah. So how do you actually make your sauerkraut?
Yeah. I forgot to add the ingredients. So yeah, like I said, as simple as possible. If you feel like you're overwhelmed, like, oh, too many ingredients, whatever, just do simple. Just do cabbage and salt. If you want to step it up, you can you can add some caraway seeds. I've been experimenting with fennel seeds in there too, because I know the potency and power of fennel seeds. Like it helps with digestion, helps with bloating, all this good stuff. But I do cabbage. I do just little bit of ginger, just a thumb of ginger, because ginger is super potent when you ferment it. Just if you use more than a thumb of ginger, it's going to overpower the whole sauerkraut. So just use a thumb worth. Little bit of garlic. Garlic's so good, antibacterial, antifungal. You know, it's a superfood just for antibacteria. You know, a few little bits of garlic, thing of ginger, turmeric. There you go, turmeric. So turmeric, there's all these supplements on turmeric. You know, just here, there, whatever. It's like fermented turmeric is one of those ways, so it's way more bioavailable because it's been fermented. Like the enzymes, the ingredients, it's more bioavailable, so they have more potency. So it's one thing to just make, you know, base turmeric, you know, turmeric tea or whatever. It's like, oh, you got to add pepper, so it's more bioavailable. I say ferment the turmeric and make it more bioavailable, so when you do consume it, yeah, you can still take more. I still take additional turmeric supplements because turmeric, pain reduction, inflammation, all this good stuff. Now I'm eating turmeric that's been fermented and then taking the turmeric supplements. So you got all this. It's a super, yeah, you're getting all the angles of the turmeric, and it's just, yeah, fermentation makes things more bioavailable. It's that's one thing I've noticed because I've done raw diet, I've done fermented diet, cooked diet, all these like ferments that's always
So
been one of
let's
the biggest life-changing foods for me.
so let's just
Oh,
say
go
you
ahead.
make
Sorry,
it.
I'm going
How
on a tangent.
long? Yeah. Let's just say you
Oh,
put
yeah.
all the ingredients in. How long do you ferment it for?
Minimum
you
2
eat it?
weeks. Minimum.
Oh wow.
You got it. Yeah, like
So
there's
you
one thing
can't
I've
like
noticed
eat
because
it the next day.
I've been doing. Oh no. Yeah, it's gotta ferment. Like I've noticed because I've been playing around with the ferments for a while, and like, man, I've probably been doing it for like a fucking decade. But one thing I noticed, yeah, like you ferment it, it's like, oh, when is this thing ready? I want to eat it. I want it, you know, it's so good. It's gonna. I'll try to eat it like a week early. I was like, oh, it's been a week, it's good, and then I'll eat it and like, oh man, this like the taste is just intense. It's like, whoa, this hasn't. It's not till the 2-week mark that the flavor complex comes out and it becomes more palatable and like eatable and digestible and tasty. And
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, you'll have to experiment, add your own little, like, you know, want to add some jalapeno peppers or hash pepper, or, you know, whatever, you know, shamanic way you want to approach your making your cool sauerkraut. But the 2-week
So-
mark is, even with kombucha, like that, there's something about that 2-week mark. Even when I dry age and ferment meat, like we do for dry age meat where we work at, we're like one of the few meat markets that still does that, where you hang the meat and you let it dry age. Like there's something about that 2-week mark that where the magic really happens, and that's when like all the flavor just shows up. That's it.
Thanks for the
Go ahead.
recipe. I have some leftover cabbage from yesterday's meal, so I'm gonna try it out and see how that turns out because I've never made it before.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah. You want to get
Thank
your
you.
dreaming body good? Like check out sauerkraut. And you
Yeah.
got to get a little contraption tool because you're making the sauerkraut. I think the one I got on the internet, it costs a little bit much, but I used the hell out of it. It's called Crowdsource, but it's like a little contraption. You get yourself your mason jars, like your wide lip mason
Yeah.
jars, and you get this thing. It's called the Crowdsource top. It's this little thing you screw on the top. It has like a little moat on the top that keeps all the air sealed in. So like when it's fermenting and the gases come up, the water, the gases will come out of the moat, like the water that's keeping it sealed, and it'll like release the gases, but like keep it sealed so it can ferment. And you got to make sure all of your cabbage is submerged. If your cabbage is not submerged all the way, you'll have growths going on, and you want to take care of those growths immediately. Like it's a learning process. It's fun because you can see like when your cabbage is going good, it's going bad. It's like, oh, what's this weird stuff growing here? Like it looks weird. It's like, whoa, like especially if you make it with high sugar foods, it'll like there's more
So you're
potency of like certain things growing.
You're saying that you have
okay.
to fill your container all the way to the top, so nothing has room to grow. Is that right? Is what you're saying?
Ideally, yeah. Like
if you're putting in a mason jar, you fill it all the way to the very top. Yes.
Somewhat. Let me here. I got a pin on me so I can kind of draw you a little example, and you can kind of check it out. So
okay,
you'll have it'll be easier for me to show.
Alfredo, do you massage your cabbage before you put into jar?
That's
Yeah. Exactly, because you gotta. Oh, that's an awesome picture.
This is
You're full
exactly
of
what
life,
we do
Ariana.
actually. And it speed up that fermentation process. I do
Yeah.
very easy way. I don't add anything, it's just cabbage and salt. This is it. And I crush cabbage and mix it with salt in a portions, like for example, quarter of entire cabbage. Mix it with salt, and then I put into a jar and press it until I see that liquid juice coming up.
Yeah.
And I crush another part, mixing with salt, and press on top of that first portion. So when you come to entire cabbage, it's already in a jar and it's already covered with juice. And then, like Alfredo said, something that will allow that gas going out, like cheesecloth or that special screw. And that massaging and pressing, you press like couple times a day. And in my case, if it is just one cabbage, it will be fermented. You can feel it and you can taste when you press with your hands. You can taste that juice, what condition it is, and you will understand when it's still sour or it's that nice taste that you want to eat. And it takes like maybe less than even a week if you do that. Some people put press on top, like some that will cover entire cabbage and then some weight on top. So yeah, thank you.
So
Hell
Irina,
yeah.
are you saying that the juice that comes up on the top when you press it down, helps to protect the cabbage from getting bacteria and stuff growing on top?
Exactly. Exactly. And some people even put some kind of flat plate and then weight on top. The juice all the time staying on top of cabbage.
So that's
if you don't have that,
that's the protection for the cabbage. Got it.
If you don't have that mechanic, it's just couple times a day you press with your hand and it's enough. It just needs to be wet all the time.
You know what we used to do in Austria when we did it? We put the whole cabbage into a bathtub or a tub.
Wow.
And we were all stamping our feet, not all. Somebody got in and was stamping the feet barefoot.
Oh, hell yeah.
Massage it all the way down.
Yeah.
Like making wine in Italy, Exactly. Yeah.
Alfredo,
do you want to share your drawing before we draw it to an end?
Oh yeah. I'm ready. Can I see it? Oh no, it's fucking so this. So yeah, if you can kind of see it right there, you can kind of get an idea. So like you got all your cabbage, like the little lines on the bottom, and then like that little top saucer thing, that's like whatever you like for the crowdsource thing, it's like a piece of metal that's like a spring is pushing it down to keep that cabbage down there. Where there's some on Amazon and you get real cheap that's like a piece of glass, because you want to keep this thing sanitary. Be very like meticulous and make sure no outside bacteria get in there, because once they do, it can have a potential to spoil your batch. But keep your hands nice and clean, and like I said, like a piece of glass to keep that thing down. And like Irina said, if you have to, like you can go back and push it down every day. It's a little bit more tedious, but if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. You know, I've been to that point where I had to push it down every day, maintain it, because I know all the effort I was putting into it was worth it, because the food's gonna make me feel fucking amazing, make me feel great. But yeah, check out those ferments, guys. If anyone wants to try something new, and it's a good, it's just a good life skill. I feel like just to have that in your arsenal, and yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Be healthy. You know? Yeah.
Back to simplicity.
I want people to get healthy. You know?
So who would have thought multidimensionality is going back to the old days, right? The way we used to do how we used to do it in the old days, isn't it? Reminding ourselves of all of that. Alfredo, this was amazing. Thank you so much. We're gonna finish it off now with the 2 hours. I think you covered pretty much everything you wanted to cover, and you did
Yeah.
really, really well. And we got so much more of an idea what you're doing and who you are. And thank you for being the teacher, being the leader, being the example, to coming on here and telling us all about you.
Telling your story.
Thank you for the
Story.
Yeah, story on the fire, guys. We've been doing this forever, like telling the story around the fire. Like that's how I view it. Like that's even my inner earth visual, like me sitting my little people around the fire, like chilling.
Fantastic.
If you're ever journeying, you might see us there hanging out by the fire in the water. Like,
We also got a tennis court down there now. We got tennis courts down there.
Oh.
Dave has put in some tennis courts because he plays tennis and he's teaching, and he says it's amazing. They love it, and they've been to go to the different worlds and implement tennis courts there. So, what else is possible, guys? So thanks.
We have to expand the fireplace and make it bigger now.
Absolutely.
The crowd will be getting bigger.
Let's get on it.
Thank you, Alfredo. That was wonderful.
It was. Thank you very much. And thanks, guys, for being here and asking all your questions and your contributions. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, guys. I love y'all.
Bye.